Hello, Cats and Kittens. Mama Cat Gamer here again with, I can't remember what part we're up to. By the time I get done video, or editing the video. I just finished editing part 29, and that will be uploaded, well, probably later today sometime. Had to go and fix some audio, voice dubbing stuff. Alright, we are at... in our MSQ. Oh, I don't have it on here. I got a bunch of blue quests I gotta finish up, but we'll tackle those as we go. An uncertain future. Yeah, okay. When we left off, we were in Count Edmont Fortin's manor. So we will probably tackle that today. I also have some stuff done on my Dragoon relic weapon. Went and did all the fates to collect these Atma things. This is what these Atmas look like. I found the list in Icy Veins of which areas you need to go to get all 12 of these Atmas. And it's not too bad of a grind, okay? So, yeah, don't be scared of doing them. So, I gotta figure out where I gotta turn that in. We will also tackle the science to deduction, so we can have some Hildebrand goodness. Not easy being green, Wonders Palace, Primal Waking, Shiva. I think I gotta turn this in Falgord Float. I also need to be on my Dragoon. Let me double check this relic weapon thing real quick. We got our base weapon. We got our Zodiac weapon. We're working on the Atma one. And we have to talk to Jalzan. Okay, in North Shroud. I couldn't remember exactly where we had to go. I also have... I have to unequip... I have to unequip my Lancer weapon. So I gotta make sure I have another one. Just in case. Gotta have a backup weapon there. Oh my goodness. And get rid of all this crap. Taking up my inventory space. Don't need a weathered head knife. Fry pan caliente. I'm gonna deconstruct that one. I'm gonna turn in these items real quick. Don't want to turn that one in. Okay. Make sure I got enough venture tokens, because I send my guys out pretty frequently. I like to have about 60 in there. 60-ish. Some people, I know somebody who has like several hundred. I think that's kind of overkill. Hey, let's go to North Shroud, because I really want to free up 12 slots in my my inventory. That's a lot of space there. I hope everybody is doing well today. It is frigid in our neck of the woods. They had an extreme cold warning actually up for us. It was wild. Haven't seen it that cold in quite some time. I had to go, I have a raised bed, and because it was so warm into even December, I still had some vegetables growing, believe it or not. We did not have a hard freeze until, we had a frost, but not a hard freeze until early December. And so I had stuff growing in my garden even until then. And then I was able to keep it alive going forward with some row covers. So, but I still have one bed that has carrots, parsnips, and my strawberry plants in it. And those are actually still alive despite the very cold weather a couple weeks back. But this one is like insanely cold wind chills, well below zero. And I didn't think one row cover was going to be sufficient, so I actually found a video on, I think it's Millennial Gardener on YouTube. And he took these Christmas incandescent light strands and strung them up underneath a row cover. And that kind of raises the temperature just enough. All I needed is enough to keep it from like being way, way, way cold. And then I put a second row cover on. I have to have this in my inventory. Okay. Jalzen says, through the power of Atma, I shall imbue your relic with such might as it has never known. Lend me the object you wish enhanced, and I shall see the deed done. Ah, 12 unique varieties of Atma. You have done well, my dear adventurer. Pray leave the rest to me. I require but a moment. It is done. True to my theory, the souls housed within the Atma have merged with your relic. Take it up once more, adventurer, and savor the newfound power that courses through it. Your relic weapon Zenith has been reborn through the power of Atma. If you wish to have another relic weapon Zenith enhanced, you may do so by repeating the process of obtaining 12 unique pieces of Atma and then presenting the objects to Jalzen. Okay, in order to receive the quest Trials of the Braves, you must be equipped with a relic weapon Atma. Paladins must be equipped with either Cortana or the Holy Shield. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's pretty cool. It has a dragon at the end of it. It's quite nice, actually. Alright, wait till... one of my FC mates has... the relic weapon for Dragoon totally finished, and it looks really, really cool. Oh. I can't do glamour plate here. Okay. Wait, where'd my Atma go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Reassign my gear. I'm gonna change that plate in a little bit. Ah, my stout assistant. I trust you are enjoying your Atma-infused relic? Why, yes, I am. Now, while your newfound might may indeed be impressive, what if I were to tell you that your weapon may grow even mightier still? My research leads me to believe that this is a distinct possibility. As before, if you would agree to be my subject, I promise that you will not be the worse for your part. What say you? Yes, I will. I will assist Jalzen again. I knew I could count on you, my friend. Listen then to the theory I have recently formed. Legend tells that when the world lies upon the brink of destruction, brave souls who bear the light shall arise to banish the darkness. These heroes are known by myriad names, but in my native Radzat-Han, they are called the Zodiac Braves. The Zodiac Braves are said to wield arms of unparalleled might that shone with the radiance of 1,000 stars. My ultimate objective, dear adventurer, is no less than the recreation of these legendary arms. Davnerian tradition holds that the Zodiac Braves gathered light to their weapons by vanquishing formidable foes. 'Tis my theory that the heroes were in fact absorbing souls. And now, through the use of Atma, your weapon has been transformed into something with the self-same ability, and it exists as a vessel for souls. At present, however, this vessel holds but a small fraction of its capacity. If your weapon is to realize its potential, you must have it drink deep of the souls of slain foes. Of course, not every soul is created equal, and so it follows that not all creatures will serve our purpose. Indeed, The Zodiac Braves themselves were very particular as to which foes they chose to vanquish. In the interests of efficiency, you would do well to seek out adversaries of like nature. For this, you might refer to the Trial of the Braves, a collection of sacred texts that tell of the hero's deeds. The books are common enough in Radzatan, but having recently formed my theory, I did not think to bring them with me, alas. Though with trade flourishing between our lands, mayhap there is a local merchant dealing in imported wares who has them in stock. I did it again. Alright, Jalzan has us doing the Trial of the Braves. Alright, the Wandering Minstrel. Yeah, at last, in muted agony have I lingered, longing to hear the hero himself speak of his epic deeds in Ishgard and beyond. The frozen tundra you braved, and into the vault of the heavens you ascended. To a sacred peak, both temple and tomb, to a ruined city reborn and resettled. To a citadel of the ancients you ventured, parting the misty veil of millennia. The journey made by you and your companions has made its mark upon the stars, and I would hear the tale in its entirety. Your words have worked a miracle upon my melancholy heart. New verses arise unbidden and threaten to spill from my lips. My harp! I must have my harp! The song of war twixt... So, then he goes into song. The song of war twixt worm and man some 1,000 years ago began, when mortals grasped for godly might, defaming name of king and knight. In Az's law for woe or weal, did holy will meet righteous steel, and thence was high divinity, compelled by light to bend the knee. What say you? Have I captured the spirit of your triumph? Pray, forgive any small liberties I may have taken with the details. One cannot evoke the proper picture of your glory without a certain measure of embellishment. Alright, and Jalzan has us going for upgrades to our weapon, and we have to kill some boss monsters, basically, and Rowena in Revenant's Toll is gonna tell us which ones. Let's put some new outfit on. Looks better. It's not bad, not bad. It'll even look better once we get it upgraded fully. Rowena says, eh? Thavnarian literature on heroes who wielded... Let me try that again. Eh? Thavnarian literature on heroes who wielded dazzling weapons? And it's called The Trial of the Braves? Might be as I've got something that fits your description. Gajasana's the one who deals in tomes and the like. You'll find her near the north gate of the toll. I don't know why they put Gajusana together there. It's pretty hard to say, actually. Oh. Reyna says, we deal in objects both rare and peculiar. If you find such oddities in your travels, then bring them to me and we'll talk business. Well, the business is, in fact, run by Rowena, and I merely stock the shelves, but one day all that will change. Rapana says, have you come for books, or are you just here to sniff about Gajusana? That would be a very cat-like thing to do. Trials of the Braves? Why, yes, we happen to have the tomes, but why would anyone be interested in moldy old things like... Ah, what I mean to say was they're extremely rare, and you aren't like to find them anywhere else in Eorzea. 9 books comprise a set, and each alone is worth a small fortune, but I like you, adventurer, so I'm willing to offer them at a discount. For the bargain price of 100 Allegan tomestones of poetics, you can be the proud owner of a piece of history, a book from the sacred trials of the Braves. Make no mistake, anywhere else and you'll easily pay twice that. When you're keen to make the exchange, just let me know. By defeating all the foes listed within a book of the Trials of the Braves, your relic weapon, Atma, will gain in attributes. Distinct sets of Trials of the Braves exist for each relic. A set is comprised of 9 books, of which only 4 are available for exchange at first. A Paladin's set comprises 7 books for Kirtana and 2 for the Holy Shield. Only 6 of these are available for exchange at first. Each book can be purchased from Gujuzana. Please note, however, that you can possess only one at any given time. You must complete all of the objectives in a book before you may attain another. Alternatively, you may also dispose of it by speaking with Gujuzana or via the key items menu. May your relic drink deep of the souls of your enemies. Alright, Trials of the Braves. It's a collection of sacred texts spanning 9 books, each of which contains a series of objectives for enhancing your relic weapon Atma. They can be acquired by exchanging Allegan tomestones with Gujuzana at Revenant's Toll. Each book will appear in the key items section. I'll show you where that is. You can see here you got items and then you got key items and crystals. Alright, I got my Wondrous Tale books, clan mark bills there. By vanquishing all the foes listed therein with your relic weapon Atma equipped, your weapon will undergo evolution. Upon fulfilling the objectives of all 9 books, your weapon will be ready to complete its evolution and become a relic weapon Animus, one step closer to one of the transcendent zodiac weapons. Please note that you can only possess 1 book at any given time. Okay. I take it you're keen to take advantage of my special offer? So, which book from the Trials of the Braves would you like to purchase? The Books of Earth. I want to increase the crit hit. Here it is, the Book of Your Heart's Desire. I have no doubt that it'll provide endless hours of entertainment. Have there ever been 100 Allegan tomestones of poetics better spent? I think not. You have obtained a book from the Trials of the Braves. The objectives therein can be verified by using the items in the key items menu. Let's see what we got to do here. Defeat 3 Amalja scavengers. Ixali Boldwings, Haplitz, Violet Size. So basically, we got to get the Ageless Wise. So, anyway, dungeons, we have to do Halatali, Amdapur Keep, and Pharaoh Sirius. Can't remember if I have that one unlocked or not. Fates. Complete the Fate Schism in Outer Lenosia. Leaves. Complete the Leave quest. Don't forget to cry. Necrologos, the liminal ones. And no big whoop. Grand Company Leave quest. Okay. Alright. I will probably do those. I'll probably do those offline. Just because it's kind of boring to watch a fate. Or wait for a fate. God forbid. Let's go back to Reaper. See if I've got anything new. Nope. Can't equip those. I am going to go to the... I need to fix a glamour plate. These are important things, you know. As you wish, sir. Right this way. This dance of the fireflies. Oh, okay. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Won't be here terribly long. Thought I had an item in there that that I could store. See what goodies we got here. Nomad's Boots of Striking. Oh, I maxed out her level again. I gotta do some more gathering to get her level up more. Alright. Speak with Tutusi. Drank that a little too fast. Let's see what Ellie has to say. Ellie said, I had a feeling you couldn't resist the pull of a good story. Since you're here, why don't you choose the Althic lavender to buy? Here you are, miss. Thank you for your patronage. Was it for love or money that you killed him? Disconcerted damsel says, It was you? Flustered fellow says, have you gone mad? That was an Amalja arrow in his back. I don't even know how to shoot a bow. Curt gentleman. Amalja don't shoot fleeing unarmed merchants. They capture and temper them. Not that you or your victim make for convincing merchants. If you're going to misrepresent yourself, put some effort into it. Wear gloves, for God's sakes. Or at least don't wave your hands in front of my face. The calluses on your fingers betray you as a veteran archer. Doubtless you used your skills to great effect 5 years ago, as did your partner. So again, I ask, was it because he took from you your share, or your sister? Flustered fellow says, you don't touch a man's kin. He knew that, and yet he... Curt gentleman says, damn, I thought he did it for the money. You too? He's all yours. Stupefied sentry says, yes, of course. Thank you for the help, Inspector. Ellie says, at least he's competent. But when did investigating crimes become such a popular profession? Tutusi says, it's not his job, you know. He just likes doing it. He belongs to one of Ishgard's high houses. Some say he's a baron. Not at all like that buffoon Hildebrand, don't you think? Ellie says, I try not to think about Hildebrand. Ellie says, we should get going. Lady Dorilda will not take kindly to wilted flowers. Present the Althic lavender to Dorilda. She's in Vesper Bay. We still have some Vesper Bay tickets, so let's use them up. Oh, I went the wrong way. Ellie says, I believe you have something to present to Lady Dorilda. Go on, then. Dorilda says, again, as I told the last 20 who came before, if you have come looking for work, you are too late. And even if I were in need of additional security, I would not deign to hire a common adventurer. Now remove yourself from my sight before I have you removed. Althic lavender, a fragrant variety of lavender, rarely found in the arid lowland regions of Thanalan. Did you really think I could be so easily manipulated? Present the right gift, speak the magic words, and you would earn my respect? What is more, a flower's beauty is fleeting. I value beauty which transcends the boundaries of time, everlasting, enduring, unchanging, like mine. Now, get out. Ellie says, forgive us, Lady Dorilda. We meant no disrespect. We were afraid that you would not heed our warnings otherwise. A notorious violent thief is plotting to steal the treaty blade. Dorilda says, you fools! Quote, I shall come to claim the collector's blade, unquote. Yes, I read the mithril eye. I know full well of whom you speak, and it is none of your concern. I have a legion of guards at my disposal. Should he try, I will have him seized or worse. And even if by some miracle he should succeed, he will not escape my wrath, for I have retained the services of a certain gentleman. Ah, but you may see for yourself. Like every piece in my collection, he has been chosen with the utmost care. Now look on my peerless inspector interlopers and despair. Oh, God. Hildebrand says, ships that pass in the night. A signal shown in the darkness. The lady cries out for a guardian, and a gentleman must needs oblige. I swear to you, here and now, I, Hildebrand, agent of enquiry, inspector extraordinaire, shall neither slumber nor sleep until the fiend who covets the treaty blade is brought to justice. Good sir, what brings you here? Are you come in pursuit of the duelist as well, or perchance in pursuit of me? Darilla says, as if I would spend a single gil on an insufferable, incompetent... Somebody says, to be fair, you are not spending a single gil on me. Curt Gentleman says, the chance to investigate such an intriguing case is payment enough. Preemptive declarations of criminal intent are hardly in vogue. Sorry I'm late. Busy solving a murder. Briardian, Consulting Inspector, at your service, my lady. Hildebrand says, conniving inspector? Briardian says, consulting inspector. Briardian, rotting flesh and saltpeter. Hildebrand Manderville and Nashu Makaraka, I assume. Two rank amateurs playing at a profession of which they know not. Call me when you've finished with these wastrels. Darilla says, you see, I do not want nor need your help. Briardian is more than capable of overseeing the transfer. Now, get out, all of you. Where have you been, Maria? And where's my vase? Maria says, there was this strange flying thing, and the vase, I dropped it in the water. I was so... That vase once belonged to the royal house of Thorn. Do you have any idea how much it was worth? You will go back outside right now and search for my vase, and you are not to return until you find it. Do I make myself clear? Hildebrand says, my lady, pray allow me to go in the girl's stead. It is not safe, for she herself spoke of a ferocious wild beast. With my unmatched investigative skills, I shall swiftly locate and recover the missing vase, thereby earning your respect, at which point you will gladly grant me permission to investigate the thieving duelist. Verily, it is a plan fiendishly clever in its intricacies. Ellie says, not when spoken aloud. Miss Maria, would you be so kind as to tell me exactly what happened? The face. Maria says, I picked up the vase in Uldal like Mother said, and I was on my way home. I was crossing the bridge, and then the flying thing came. I got scared, so I ran. When I stopped, it was gone, but so with the vase. I think I dropped it in Nafika's wells. I want to go and look, but there were scary-looking things down there. I'm scared to go alone. Hildebrand says, You are no longer alone, Miss Maria. We shall go together and look for the vase. All 5 of us. Ellie says, all 4 of you. I'm going after Inspector Briardian. If the duelist strikes, I mean to be there. Hildebrand says, But Miss Ellie, how can you ignore the plight of a young girl for the sake of a story? Ellie says, Because that's my job, you imbecile. Hildebrand says, Well, we shall not be derelict in our duty to justice. Come, Nashu, we must away. Ellie says, You don't even know what the bloody vase looks like. Maria, dear, listen. If it gets dangerous, or if you feel afraid, you run to this adventurer for help. You understand? And hello! How are you? I just saw your text there. This is out! Out! I have forthcoming appointments with very prestigious guests and will suffer your presence no longer. Okay. It's kind of bitchy there. Pardon my French. Let's go to check out Nafika's wells. Flamboyant oaf. And a green chicken. A pox upon that thieving demon bird. He shall rue the day he crossed paths with me. Huh? A vase? I know not of what you... Ugh. Curse this infernal... Ah. Huh? A vase? I know not of what you... Ugh. Curse this infernal refuse underfoot. Every point is a dagger. There's something in the water at the man's feet. Do the people of this land simply toss their refuse in the river? Every step is agony. Senman says, a vase? Well, anything that falls in the water is like to be swept downstream fairly quickly. Does this have anything to do with that queer winged beast I saw earlier? No? Never mind then. I imagine we were meant to come up to this from up above. Resting merchant. That girl that run by earlier? I seen her, had something in her hands, but dropped it while crossing the bridge. Didn't get a good look, but I reckon it don't matter any road. Whatever it was, it's long gone by now. Alright, we'll go back to our, oaf. Now we can pick up the curious object. Do I spy the treasured vase of Lady Dorilda over... Oh. Oh dear. Flamboyant Oaf says, does this belong to you, child? Forgive me, I was so engrossed in my search that I did not notice. Hildebrand says, your search for what, pray tell? Flamboyant Oaf says, the demon bird that absconded with my weapon. I set it down for but a moment, only to see it next to the talons of that accursed creature. I gave chase, following it to these waters, and in my haste I must have stepped upon your vase. Now she says, don't fret, Maria. I know it looks bad, but I'm sure Inspector Hildebrand will think of something. Hildebrand says, oh, but I already have, my faithful assistant. Hearken to me now. For as the rising sun doth dispel the dark, so shall my solution resolve your dilemma. Oh, God. But first, we must gather as many fragments of the vase as we can find. Why does this feel so familiar? Because we searched in water last time, that's why. Flamboyant Oaf. How could I have been so careless? Precious potsherd. Nothing's this warrior of light like picking up rubble in a river. Alright, all the Sultan's chocobos and all the Sultan's men couldn't put his face back together again. Nice. I didn't realize that they had a Humpty Dumpty reference there. Hildebrand says, come to present your findings, have you? Splendid! Let's have a look. Well done, my friend. This should be more than sufficient for our needs. He has performed miracles with far less, after all. A shattered antique vase will not deter Inspector Hildebrand from his mission. Alright, we're going to do this just so we can get the Manorville dance. Hildebrand says, there is but one person in all Eorzea capable of reconstructing this vase, a man whose skill with the hammer has brought rival goldsmiths low. So breathtaking are his works, so fearsome his competitive spirit. Flamboyant Oaf says, this man is no mere goldsmith. You speak of him as one would of a great warrior. Hildebrand says, once a notorious gang of thieves perpetrated a series of robberies in Ul'dah, targeting establishments which sold luxury goods. One such shop was owned by the humble lapidary of whom I speak. His was the last shop the thieves struck, for the following morning they were found beaten, bound, and gagged in the Gold Court. The Brassblades never learned who was responsible. The only information they had was the testimony of a thief who kept muttering the words, the hammer. The hammer. Maria says, he sounds dangerous. The oaf says, aye, that he does, and I do so enjoy the company of dangerous men. Gilgamesh says, "But where are my manners? I have yet to properly introduce myself. I am Gilgamesh, and this is my companion, Enkidu." "Well, not really. It has been many moons since last I saw her, so to ease the burden of loneliness, I tamed a rooster and painted it green." Okay. "In any case, you mean to search for this goldsmith, yes? If so, it would be my pleasure to help." Hildebrand says, "The pleasure is all mine, Gilligan. I, Hildebrand, agent of enquiry, inspector extraordinaire, bid you welcome." Gilgamesh says, "If it is that hard for you to remember, I give you leave to call me Gil." Hildebrand says, "Excellent suggestion, Greg. Playful monikers are an effective means of building camaraderie. Call me Hildy." "Now then, from what I know of the goldsmith's propensity to procure his materials himself, I have deduced that he's most likely to be found in the vicinity of Blue Fog in northern Thanalan. It is there we shall begin our search." Okay, if you go to any Hildebrand quest and expect anything serious, you are sadly in for a rude awakening. So, take it for the spirit with which it's intended. By the way, I would not skip these. I prefer to do them when I'm higher, good higher level, because some of the instance duties can be a little tough when you're on level or below. But the Endwalker relic weapons are based on doing the Manderville quests. So I would encourage you to do them along the way. Certainly after you finish any expansion, do that expansion's Hildebrand quest. Leaves. Okay. Nashu Makaraka says, "If a Doblin become..." Let's try that again. Nasha Makaraka says, "If a Doblin became a zombie, would that make it a Zomblin? Or a Dombie?" Okay. The Doblin's wounds indicate that it was felled with a hammer. A trail of bloody footprints leads to the north. Now she says, "I don't think it's been dead long. Maybe whoever did it is still around?" Gilgamesh says, "This goldsmith is not to be trifled with." Okay, basilisk carcass. The basilisk's wounds indicate that it was felled with a hammer. A trail of bloody footprints leads to the north. Gilgamesh says, "A single blow to the head. Impressive." Yeah, and you get a cool mount. That's right. I forgot about that. Hildebrand says, "His handiwork is unmistakable. The corpse is still quite warm." I like how its eyes rolled up in its head. "The Doblin, the basilisk, this Ahriman, all were slain with a hammer, as was the beast over yonder, unless I am mistaken." "That chimera must be his latest prize, which means he must still be about." Mayhap he is watching us at this very moment, attempting to ascertain our intentions. He was ever a cautious man when on the hunt. Alas, it comes to this. Though every fiber of my being cries out in rebellion, I must break my oath and do the unspeakable. Gilgamesh says, What must you do that is so terrible? Hildebrand says, I must dance. I'm a Manderville man, doing what only a Manderville can. From the peaks of Kurthus to Thanalan, Manderville man. Oh my god. Gilgamesh says, I cannot avert mine eyes. Hildebrand says, that is the dance of House Manderville, passed down from father to son. Were I to perform it within sight of our quarry, he would not be able to resist revealing himself. Alas, I neglected to properly stretch my legs beforehand. My good man, I see no other solution. You must dance in my stead. Though it be a gross, nay, unconscionable violation of my family's traditions, I must bequeath to you the Manderville. Okay. I asked for this one. You've learned the emote Manderville dance. Okay. As Gilgamesh says, what manner of man can be summoned only through dance? You don't want to know. Well, yeah, we do want to know, but, you know. Nashu says, are you really going to do the Manderville? Oh, I can't wait. Hildebrand says, the time has come for you to do what only a Manderville can. We are as siblings now, my constant comrade, for I have shared with you the secrets of House Manderville. Now you must use that knowledge. Go to the fallen chimera and dance like only a Manderville can. I gotta see Gav doing this dance. Oh my god. Fancy yourself a Manderville man? You would do what only a Manderville can. Then lift your legs and put up your hands. Be a Manderville man. Gilgamesh says, he comes. And he is in his underwear. Okay. Ho ho ho! You have naught to fear for me, not at all. The only accounts I come to settle were with the Chimera. But you were not drawn here by some coincidence, were you? No, you came in search of me, Godbert. Why else would you gyrate your hips in such a gentlemanly fashion, if not that? Gyrate her hips in gentlemanly fashion. Godbert says, but more importantly, how in the hells did you learn the Manderville? If I did not teach you, then who? Oh, Hildy's in trouble. Godbert says, By the grace of Thal, what sorcery is this? He yet lives? We got the bionic men kind of thing going here. Or chariots of fire, one or the other. Godbert says, uh-oh. You know, these repeated traumatic brain injuries are bound to have some effect. Yeah. Godbert says, 10 years, Hildebrand! 10 years since you left home, and 5 since I learned of your trip to Dalamud. How long were you planning to allow your mother and father to suffer under the illusion that their beloved son was dead? Gilgamesh says, Son? You are Hildy's father? Godbert does the dance, and Godbert the goldsmith's a Manderville man. Smithing is only a Manderville can. Oil him up and give him a tan. Fit for a Manderville man. Hildebrand says, Please, father, cease your undulations at once. There are more pressing matters at hand. Hildebrand says, This antique vase must be made whole once more for the sake of Miss Maria. Godbert says, Ha! Do not worry, little one. I deal with worse cases before my morning bowel movement. It's been a while since I've done these. Godbert says, Hold your applause until the end. Byragat, guide my hammer. Look how it sparkles in the twilight, how it radiates elegance. Would you all not agree that this is a work of art? Hildebrand says, You've completely destroyed a priceless antique's historical value. Godbert says, Nonsense! I have taken a dull, unremarkable vase and transformed it into something far superior. I hope you were paying attention, Hildy. How long has it been since you last held a hammer? Hildebrand says, Father, That is not my path. I am an agent of enquiry, an inspector. It is my duty to help those in need. Miss Maria is one such person. There are others, too, innocent people whose weapons were callously ripped from their hands by a thieving duelist. Godbert says, I thought you had put away childish dreams. No matter. You will understand in due time. Hildebrand says, No, I will not. I am an inspector, father. I can be naught else. Maria says, Mr. Godbert, sir, I don't think my mother's going to like what you did. She probably won't let Mr. Hildebrand help with the investigation. Gilgamesh says, We cannot say that for certain, can we? Mayhap she will take a liking to this reimagining. You spoke of a thieving duelist, did you not? It so happens I am something of a duelist myself. Were we to cross paths with this fellow, I would welcome the opportunity to pit my skills against his. And Kidu as well, I should think. Hildebrand says, I see you too possess a strong sense of justice. Full glad am I to have met you, Greg. Now, let us return to Vesper Bay and see how our vase is received. Godbert says, Vesper Bay, you say? What a coincidence. I shall be traveling there on business once I have finished gathering materials. Gilgamesh says, Oh, I think I might have seen the demon bird that took my weapon. Go on without me. I shall follow anon. Give the reconstructed vase to Maria in Vesper Bay. Okay, let's use our tickets again. What does this say? Reconstructed vase. If every component of an object were to be replaced, could the resulting object be fundamentally considered the same? Philosophers are unsure. Godbert does not care. Aha. It's Briardian. Hildebrand says, Mayhap Miss Maria should be the one to present the vase. I hope she likes it. Mother, I brought you the vase. Dorilda, by the gods, have you all no shame? How dare you make my daughter complicit in your chicanery? I don't even know where you found this gaudy trash, but it bears no resemblance whatsoever to the vase I purchased. Ellie says, Now see here, Lady Dorilda, not only did you send Maria to fetch your priceless vase alone, placing her in considerable danger should bandits or wild beasts attack, which they did, but... Gaudy trash. Dorilda says, Lord Manderville, sir, I did not realize you had arrived. Though I know it is nothing compared to the lavish accommodations an esteemed gentleman such as yourself must enjoy, I pray my humble abode meets with your satisfaction. Godbert. Oh, it truly does, my lady, it does indeed. Especially that exquisite vase over yonder. Although I gather from your previous comments that you do not like my reconstruction. Your reconstruction? Oh, I don't like it. I love it. I would go so far as to call it the new centerpiece of my Thorn Dynasty collection. Godbert says, Ah, what a relief! I would have been most distressed had you said otherwise. We Mandervilles do so take pride in our work and ever strive for professional perfection. Oh, but why am I repeating what my son Hildebrand doubtless told you when he offered to investigate the duelist threats? Enough expository banter, I say. Dorilda says, I cannot recall if your son used those precise words, but I do remember thinking that his help would be most welcome. You will be helping us, Inspector Hildebrand, will you not? Ellie says, Wait a minute. Your father is Lord Godbert Manderville, the man who took Eolin Quiveron's seat on the Syndicate? Hildebrand says, It appears that there have been a great many developments over the past 10 years of which I was completely unaware. In any case, we must redirect our energies towards the investigation of the thieving duelist. Our first order of business will be to review all the facts with consenting Inspector Briardian. Consenting. Does Godbird have anything else to say? I hope I did not speak over much earlier. My wife would describe it as a proclivity to pontificate, but I prefer to think of it as an earnest desire to establish rapport with my fellow man. Okay. Maria says, I think she likes it. Hildebrand. Come, we have a thief to catch. Let us seek out Inspector Briardian at once. See if there's anything else interesting in here. If I can get around the chair. Wilfred. You have business with me, adventurer? What do you do here? I'm the harbor master here at Vesper Bay. My responsibility is to ensure that all is smooth sailing and at all times. I pride myself on maintaining the best facility on the mainland. Ours is a bustling port, and without sound management, things would very quickly run to chaos. What kind of place is this? Vesper Bay was built only a number of years ago, but in a short span of time, it has grown into the premier ocean gateway to Ul'dah. That even the largest vessels might find mooring here, large-scale excavation was undertaken to deepen the seabed. 'Twas a costly venture, made possible only with the generosity of Lord Lolorito. It's to him that our port owes its prosperity. There's no shortage of opportunities to be had by enterprising individuals. But no etherite. Briardian. Why are you still here? Hildebrand says, allow me to elucidate. Lord Durilda has asked that we assist with the investigation. Now, kindly share with us all your information. Briardian says, fine. Our plans have advanced to a stage that even you couldn't ruin them anyway. I commissioned several reproductions of the Treaty Blade through a merchant named Jojonpa, who traffics in counterfeit antiques. These blades have been delivered to the observatorium, where they are being distributed among Lady Durilda's sellswords. Once I give the order, they will transport them via alternate routes to Vesper Bay. Oh, says Nashu, I think I get it. You're hiding the real transport with a bunch of decoys, right? Briardian says, they're all decoys. The moment the thief strikes, all our forces will converge on his location, including those disguised as small folk along each route. The real Treaty Blade will remain in the original owner's vault until the thief has been apprehended. Everything has been accounted for. You are superfluous. But we can flex mightily. Briardian says, mayhap we could use more small folk to watch the roads in and out of the observatorium, assuming you have the capacity to conduct yourself in an unassuming fashion. Pretty much, no. Fear not, my fellow inspector, for I am a master of disguise. Have you any information regarding the duelist himself? A description? Ellie says, you never thought to ask Humphrey, did you? Oh, the thief is said to be a towering brute dressed in red who wields a halberd. A man so garishly dressed should be easy to find in snowy Kurthus. Briardian says, then I suppose we don't need your help after all, do we? Come or don't, I couldn't care less. Ellie says, be seeing you. Gilgamesh. Pray, forgive my lateness. Greg, my good man, what a pleasure to see you again. We just received new information regarding the weapon thief. A victim described him as a halberd-wielding brute dressed in a ridiculous outfit. A ridiculous outfit? Oh, now I am intrigued. What reasons would a warrior have for wearing impractical clothing? Ha ha! What reasons indeed? It is enough to make a gentleman laugh. Okay. Gilgamesh says, that damnable demon bird continues to elude me, but no longer. Soon I shall claim my revenge and weapon both. I'm going to pick this up and we'll do it another time. So, we want to continue along the main scenario quest. The three collectors. Inspector Hildebrand would have you accompany him to Kurthus. Allow me to summarize our current plan of action. Our destination is the Observatorium, and our mission is to pose as goodly small folk in accordance with Inspector Briardian's instructions. Naturally, should the situation demand improvisation, we are to disregard those instructions. Any questions? No? Then let us sally forth at once. I mean, Nashu and Gav might be able to pull off the small folk kind of thing, but pretty sure Hildy's not going to. Let's go back to Ishgard. Oh, now that I finished Heavensward, Rowena's representative shows up. I was buying some of these items. I can't remember. Alexandrian gear? Okay. Oh, that's right. I wanted to get the Dragoon stuff. Okay. We have 535. I can get a choker. And then that's it for now. Because my Dragoon is still at like level 60-ish. But all classes can wear it, so. I'll upgrade my jewelry. I know, Greg is great. Gods of Eld? I keep finding blue quests. The Gods of Eld. Torcefair has a message for you from a mysterious stranger. Ah, my Lord Gav, during your absence a stranger came calling. Upon learning that you were away, he left a message to the effect that he wishes to speak with you and will await you at the Rising Stones. If you have a mind to oblige the stranger, please be careful. I cannot well explain why, but it put me ill at ease to simply be near him. I am also going to go to Idleshire and pick up the normal raid quest so that I can actually unlock one. Well, come, Master Tia. Shall I show you inside the manor? Yes. Tataru says, the search for our missing friends continues. Should I learn something, I'll be sure to let you know. Alfino says, an uncertain future. Alfino wishes to share the latest developments in the search for the missing scions. Can get urchin loaf. Oh, sea urchin corals mixed with mushrooms and herbs. into a paste that is then placed back into the urchin shell and baked until hard. Yuck. Elfino says, "Fortuitous timing as always, Gav. Tataru was about to brief me on the search for our missing comrades. If you would be so kind, then." Tataru says, "Absolutely. You'll be pleased to hear that Rael and his men have been making excellent progress. You remember how Flamine helped me to escape the Crystal Braves in Limsa Laminza, only to then disappear? Well, according to Rael, she crept aboard a ship bound for Radzat Han, where she's been hiding ever since. Except we found her. He assures me that it won't be long until we're reunited. As for Ida and Papalymo, the remains of their link pearls have been found, and in Pearl Lane, of all places. Rael thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade." Elfino says, "Aye. That would make sense. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers." Tataru says, "We're all but certain they fled the city shortly after, though we still don't have a clue where they went." "I see," says Elfino. "And what of Thancred and Minfilia?" Tataru says, "I'm afraid I have nothing new to share about those two, but it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is, we've enlisted the services of a Charlian scholar, one of the students of Baldecion, to aid in the search, who should be arriving any day now." Elfino says, "One of the students, you say? I should very much like to meet this scholar, if time permits. But first, we must attend to a more pressing matter. Sir Emmerich has summoned the two of us for a private audience. The messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, Gav, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith, and mayhap we can meet with the scholar afterwards. Agreed?" All right. Tataru says, "In that case, I think I'll return to the Forgotten Knight for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone too long, you know." She working there now? I don't know. I have beef stew going in the crock pot. It's starting to smell good already. Sky Pirates? Oh, we need to do Sky Pirates too. I think that starts our Alliance Raid quest. Unquiet Trader. The Unquiet Trader seems to be scanning the skies in silent desperation. "Ah, you have the look of a lad who's seen his fair share of trouble. Mayhap you'd be willing to help me with mine. I need a capable sort to head into the Sea of Clouds and track down my missing airship. I had to mortgage my soul to get that vessel built, so winning the contract to ferry supplies out to Cloud Top was a real weight off my mind. But it seems my luck ended there. My ship was due back in Ishgard bells ago, and I've been praying for a glimpse of her sails ever since. I can't help fearing the worst. What if she's run afoul of sky pirates? My creditors will have their ponds of flesh. You think me foolish to fear piracy so far above the waves? Well, let me tell you that no honest merchant is safe now that airship production has, if you will excuse the pun, taken off. Any scoundrel with a sack of coin and a vague sense of direction can terrorize the skies. Oh yes, this new breed of buccaneers like to paint themselves as dashing explorers, braving the unknown. But the truth of their nature is right there in the name, Sky Pirates. Given half a chance, they'll strip your ship of every last scrap of cargo and cry "Yar!" as they launch you screaming over the rails. I've heard the stories. Please, you must make haste to Camp Cloud Top. That's where the shipment was bound, and inquire as to the fate of my poor ship. Oh, and my poor helmsman. Ask Rontremont. He'll know, if any man does. Go to the Forgotten Knight. Let's eat some eggs. Elfino says, "Good invariably triumphs over evil in fairy tales, yet they are conspicuously reticent about what follows." Andalou says, "Though you are no son of Ishgard, you have shed blood for us and with us and for us. Though I am no individual of any great import, I should express my gratitude all the same. Thank you, my friend." Oh, that's nice. A little gratitude goes a long way. Temple Night Guard says, "The Lord Commander is within. Pray, proceed, sir." Let's go in.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities. I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited.
Fair point. Fair point.
Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number questioned our methods.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order, but such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Trine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Trine? You would speak with Vidofnir, then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor? Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
Alphino says, "The journey, at least, should pose little difficulty this time." Lucia says, "I know little of the lands these dragons call home. This annexed shrine. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey might seem a far more daunting prospect." Alphino says, "I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it. Yet even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? Ah, but ere we set forth, Gav and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans." Lucia says, "Very well. I shall see to my preparations." Alphino says, "Then let us go and bid farewell to Tataru, Gav." Lucia says, "Traversing the western highlands calls for warmer clothing. Yet there are only so many layers one can fit under plate armor." That's true. Alphino says, I thought you might want to tell her. Or would you rather I did all the talking?" Tataru says, "So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears." Yes, let's have a secret meeting in front of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. A diplomatic mission to annex Trine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Vidofnir happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with Y'shtola in Idleshire. She'll be there to receive our guest. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but the scholar just happens to be... Alphino says, time permitting, as I said, we shall endeavor to join Y'shtola, but if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let us be off, Gav. We have kept the first commander waiting long enough. Tataru says, let no one say I didn't try. Okay. Tataru is heartened to learn of your diplomatic mission and readily concedes that it should take precedence over receiving the Sharlayan Scholar. Even so, she encourages you to join the welcoming party in Idleshire, should time permit. As the Sharlayan Scholar in question is not just anyone. Before she can elaborate, however, Alphino loudly declares that you must return to the congregation at once. Apparently, the first commander has been kept waiting long enough. Alphino says, one task at a time, Gav. Besides, I have no doubt that Y'shtola can look after the scholar by herself. Lucia says, are you ready then? Good. So am I. Let's take the urchin loaf, because that's actually what the stats I need. If you and Master Alphino would be so kind as to lead the way. Alphino says... Alphino is ready to escort Lucia to Annex Trine. The path is long but known to us. From Falcon's Nest we shall cross the western highlands and make for Tailfeather in the Dravanian Forelands. There we can stop to rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. Rendezvous with Lucia outside Tailfeather. I'm just going to port there. Alphino says, strange, this is only my third visit to Tailfeather, yet the first feels as though it were a lifetime ago. Lucia says, I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravanian soil would be at the head of an army, and here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Alphino says, full well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside the past. Though it was I who first proposed recruiting Yzael to our cause, I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands, men, women, children, all slain in the name of the implacable Lady Iceheart. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side, she fought in service to that greater good, even unto her dying breath, and while that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she will be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. Lucia says, you ask much, Master Alphino, yet who can say what might come to pass, should our negotiations bear fruit? Alphino says, yes, of course. We must press on to Annex Trine, if you will follow me. Sure, there's nothing we need to pick up here. So, port over to Annex Shrine. Oh, I think Vidofnir is up top. Okay. Sunan, without wings, you must take this passage to scale the tower. Above you will find more of my kin. Or above you will find more of my kin, but beware the Cave of Morn. What does Kashtha say? The bridge beyond this chamber leads to Morn. It is a place of silence. Tread softly through its halls. Vidofnir says, Thou art ever welcome here, friend of Izael. But this one I do not know not. Vidofnir says, But this one I do not know. Alfino says, Pray, forgive us this unannounced visit, Vidofnir. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Vidofnir. I am come as an envoy of Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. Vidofnir says, Indeed, you may speak, knight. Lucia says, For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed our kin... Let me try that again. To our shame, we long believed our kin to be... I still can't get that right. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war. But now we know the truth, that King Thordan and his knights, 12, did willfully betray and murder the great worm Ratatoskr, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years, our leaders conspired to conceal this truth, a truth which was at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Azure Dragoon, and Izael. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Izael once did, and we must make that dream a reality, as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vidofnir, join hands with us in friendship once more, before the eyes of my people in Ishgard. Vidofnir says, A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot yet give you mine answer. Lucia says, May I ask why? Vidofnir says, This matter concerneth my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Lucia says, Then we shall wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up on peace for want of patience. Vidofnir says, Ha! Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. Nice. Lucia says, So soon? My humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith, until we meet again. Does Vitafner have anything else to say? Never did I think to see a knight of Ishgard come into Annick's shrine bearing words instead of steel. Would that the Nath could show the same restraint. Too many children have fallen to their spears and muskets. Lucia says, to face such a creature in battle is one thing, to converse with it quite another. Elfino says, given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. Lucia says, to be frank, I am surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Elfino says, well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Sharlayan. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. Lucia says, then I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was, and thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. Elfino says, I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Lucia says, of that I have no doubt, Master Alfino. I only hope the fates will not hold you to your word. Another time, another place. Alfino is eager to set out for Sharlayan. So, it would seem we have time to greet the scholar after all. How delightful! I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I can only assume she is privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Y'shtola in Idleshire. Let's go to Idleshire. Which reminds me, I need to see if I have any Wondrous Tales stickers. Nope. What I do is I have these second chance tickets, right? I wait until I enter a dungeon and see which one it is, and then I'll re-roll it, the sticker then, so that they don't get wasted. Okay, we've got quite a few blue quests here. Let's go pick them up. Oyster's Bruiser. A striking opportunity. Your reputation precedes you. If the wide-eyed look the stranger is favoring you with is any indication. Okay. Oyster's Bruiser. Cor, I know you. You're one of them half-mad venturers, what roams about picking fights with gods and every bugger else. Well met, well met. Love your work. But you're just one of them pack of right crazed killers, am I right? Hells, for all I know, might be they're the ones that do the work while you share in the credit. Now, killer, don't take it personally or nothing, but I've seen it before. When it's all blood and shite and explosions, it can be hard to tell if you're pulling your weight. That's why I've been training up in Stone Sky Sea. Don't let the daft name fool you. It's a proper training ground where fighting folk like me and you go to refine our killing prowess. If you ever been, go and look for the goodly fellow out past the back bridge. He'll tell you the rest. You won't regret it. That unlocks a training area of some sort. It's probably had more use back in the day, but I don't now that we got training dummies all over the place. May not be necessary. Slowfix has something for us. Disarmed. Slowfix looks more agitated than you have ever seen him. Pshka. Is Uplander seeing it? Giant of iron rising from river? Okay. Gav, are you seeing this? A giant iron coming out of the river. Ishtola and Sid leave to learn more, but are not back yet. Great is plight of Gobbyflock. Giant is too big. Can squash Idleshire flat. Where are Uplanders? Ishtola says, calm yourself, Slowfix. Ah, Gav, 'tis well you are here, for our need is dire. A colossus of steam and steel has risen from the Thaliac. Yet it is no mere forgotten contrivance of Sharlayan. The resultant etheric disturbance confirms that it is a primal, and that it was summoned amidst the ruins left for the river to reclaim. For a mercy, it stopped dead no sooner than it had broken the water's surface, but so long as it remains in our realm, it may spring to life again at any moment. Slowfix. Yes, but what does Uplander find near Idleshire? Is wilderness still heavy with ether? Nay, the ether grows perilously thin, says Y'shtola, and more swiftly than I could have imagined. The primal is bleeding the land dry. Should it be suffered to continue, this entire region will become a barren waste in a matter of moons. Slowfix says, No! Gobbyflock has only just found home after long wanderings. Idleshire will not fall. Slowfix will not allow it. And nor will we, says Y'shtola. I have already spoken with Alphino, and he concurs that we, scions of the Seventh Dawn, must do all in our power to eliminate the threat. Yet, given its size, I deem it wise to attack from two fronts. Our first and most obvious recourse is to keep our foe in check with blade and magic, much as we have done with other such adversaries. Second, I propose that we attempt to cut off the flow of ether which sustains it, mayhap by physically separating the primal from the land. If we are to be rid of the Colossus, I think the latter course more promising, and mean to enlist Master Matoya's aid in pursuing it. Yet such things take time. Thus, I have asked Master Garland to remain here and keep watch over our foe. Given its apparently mechanical nature, his expertise should prove invaluable to you. To you, I say, for I would leave the fate of Idleshire in your hands. Should the primal chance to stir ere my return, you are to join Sid in repelling it. An unenviable task, but one for which you are singularly qualified. Yep, that's us, Warrior of Light. Rest assured, I do not mean to linger with Master Matoya any longer than necessary. The moment we find a solution, I shall make haste to rejoin you here. Well then, let us be about our duties. I shall leave you to discuss strategies with Sid. Slowfix says, Pshka. Backrix is Keeper of Knowings for Idleshire, can say where Sid has gone. Uplander should start with Backrix. Alright, this is for our main scenario quest. Alphino says, another conspicuously uneventful journey. It would seem we are destined not to be late. Y'shtola says, Ah, Gav, 'tis good to see you. I confess I had assumed your business in Annex Shrine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vidofnir go well? Alphino says, as well as can be expected. She must discuss Sir Emmerich's proposal with Hraesvelgr, of course, but she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Sharlayan guest? Has she arrived yet? Y'shtola says, she has, but when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on Front Bridge. We should be on our way. Let me pick up this other blue quest here. Blue quests. I'm gonna grab them all. Gotta catch them all like Pokemon. Let me Google that for you. Mountain Dew reckons you're the right man for the job. Now here's the adventurer I was looking for. I've got a job that needs doing, and something tells me you'd be just the one to do it. Now, stop me if I got this wrong, but a little bird told me that you'd been in and out of the great Google Library, and that a walking, talking broom of all things showed you the way in. Well, I suppose the latter bit's neither here nor there. Long story short, a certain personage has something they want from that library, a hefty leather-bound tome to be exact, and they've tasked me with finding the right man to retrieve it. There's just one rub. Seems some heedless interloper, mind you, I'm not looking to point fingers here, left the door to the forbidden vaults wide open, allowing what seems like every void-sent and ensorcelled abomination in the Encyclopedia Eorzea to saunter right in. A right mess, I'm sure you agree. Fortunately, the strapping lad standing in front of me knows the place like the back of his hand. I just need you to make like your broom friend, sweep out the nasties, and retrieve the tome for my client. Simple enough, right? Meet you there. Let's go down and talk to this person who is down this way. Oh, Gossamer Moogle. So, when I was working on redubbing video last night, most of it was involving Moogles. So I had my Moogle voice on. Gossamer Moogle. The Gossamer Moogle appears to be searching for someone. Ah, you're Gav, aren't you? I found you at last, Kupo. The Daphner asked me to come find you, and I've been searching high and low and near and far, Kupo. Do you know how difficult it is to look for someone while trying to stay unseen yourself? Well, never mind about that now. There are more important things to worry about, Kupo. The Daphner was very insistent that I hurry you back to some All Summit as soon as possible. So, on your way, Kupo. Right, well, that's my job done. I'll go on ahead and let Vidafner know you're coming. See you there, Kupo. Oop, didn't mean to do that. Oh, look at these flowers. These are pretty. Kind of remind me of poppies. Delphinium. Kind of a mix between tulips and daylilies. Foxglove. This kid's like running around the place here. That's cute. I don't think we've got any more blue quests in here. Let me go pick this one up real quick, because it's right outside the door. And then we'll come up back to MSQ here. Goodly Adventurer. You there, good sir. You look like you enjoy bathing in the blood of your enemies. Have you perchance heard about Stone Sky Sea? You see, as part of an initiative to reduce the number of disputes, the Adventurers Guild has been forced to arbitrate between members who accuse their comrades of not contributing sufficiently to... Let me try again. He who fights with strength of stone unyielding, breathes deep of boundless sky, and embraces serenity of rolling sea. Against him none can stand. Sorry, that's what the Doman fellow told me to say. I don't quite understand it myself, but he seemed to think it was all very clever. Right, so, in essence, we've got these ridiculous contraptions that you attack in whatever manner you deem fit. Each is supposedly tailored to the strength of some legendary beast or being some madman decided to challenge once upon a time. Speaking of which, I believe one should be dropping in right about now. I didn't know we were going to be fighting. Hope you don't get dizzy easily. Apparently the first time they dropped one of those was an accident. Trainees loved it so much they started doing it all the time, though. Right, so each is tailored to the strength of a legendary fiend, the idea being that if you can defeat the dummy, you can defeat the fiend. In principle, that is. Dummies don't hit back, after all. But who gives a fig about any of that, eh? I nearly forgot the best part. It's free! Alright. Stone Sky Sea now accessible. You have access to Stone Sky Sea. This training ground can be... Hold on. Alright, we're back. Alright. My son was out shoveling and somebody came into the door and rang the doorbell and the dog started barking and he had to buy a break anyway, so. There you go. Alright. You now have access to Stone Sky Sea. This training ground can be accessed by speaking with the goodly adventurer outside Idleshire. Ystola says, "It would seem we are early. Shall we wait?" Alfino says, "Wait, back in Ishgard? What was she trying to tell me?" Alfino, gotta love him.
I'm terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Sharlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, sir. And who is that I spy but young Alphino Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Nice.
Miss Kryle and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
What? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Oh, that evil look on her face. I love it. And the other two. It's like, whoa, Alphino, okay. Let's see what you had to say.
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking. Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand,
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
Another blue quest out here. Tetchy Treasure Hunter. The Tetchy Treasure Hunter has the look of a woman who has seen rather too many marbles. What? There's one behind me, isn't there? No? Thank the gods. I've done enough running for one day. Those gods damned beasts came out of nowhere. It's a wonder we made it out alive. But we can't just leave the treasure there. You look like the sort who's used to risking life and limb. Might be as you could clear a way up through those seedkin that damn near made a meal of us. We'd see that it was worth your while, of course. If you're interested, let my friend Sani know. He should be somewhere near the entrance to St. Mosion's Arboretum. Well, I reckon it's safe to go back to Idleshire and look for a few more hands. We'll need as much help as we can get. Hope to see you at the Arboretum. Alright, here's Sani. My god, what an outfit there. You're here to help with the seedkin infest in the Arboretum. Thank the gods, we've got the numbers to venture into there ourselves. Oh, we've not the numbers to venture in there ourselves. They used to research plant life from every corner of the realm here, you know. Of course, with no one to look after it, it's all gotten a bit overgrown. Usually places like this are more trouble than they're worth. But if the parchments we found are anything to go by, there's something in these ruins that could benefit everyone in Idleshire for generations to come. A proper priceless treasure. And it goes without saying that a site as old as this is sure to be stuffed with all sorts of precious relics, which you'd be welcome to keep if you help beat a path for us. We'll follow behind you once it's safe and see if we can't find what we're looking for. Alright, we've unlocked that. I am actually gonna... We're gonna do a giant circle because we need to go down to the Kuba Library, across the way to pick up Disarmed. Get a bit of flying ahead of us. Alright, here's Backrix. Independent Tinker. Okay, I don't need anything needing repair. I think I got the Summoning Stone, but always make sure. Bacrix. Bacrix is keeper of knowings and data. What does Uplander wish to learn about? Ah, Uplander comes in search of Cid, yes? My thanks for sharing your knowings, Bacrix. These Illuminati are indeed most hostile. Ah, Gav, old friend. You haven't seen your Stola, have you? Drained of all ether in a matter of mere moons? 7 hells! How much power does that thing need? Too much, plainly. Well, it sounds as if we have an urgent dismantling job on our hands. From what Bacrix has been telling me, the Illuminati are the most likely culprits. They have the knowledge to summon a primal and the requisite short-sightedness not to think better of it. Fanatical captures their philosophy nicely, I think, their goal being nothing less than sole ownership of all the world's technology. Needless to say, they're more than willing to kill anyone who stands between them and what they want. Quite how they manage to coax a primal into the hulk of a Charlian defense mechanism, I don't know. But it looks like they've made themselves a tidy little fortress inside the Colossus. We'll need to contend with them if we're to disable that thing. As for the task itself, simply destroying whatever serves as its engine should do the trick, assuming it's in fact mechanical. But before all that, we'll need to find a way in, through yet another bloody barrier. Shko. Barrier is not new. Rose up 3 years ago after ground made shivery shakes. Ruin was freed from Riverbend then. Round Rocks was here, saw with own 2 eyes. So, Bacrix is saying, the barrier is not new. It rose up from the riverbed after an earthquake. And I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Round Rocks? Sorry, who is... Daughter of Slowfix. Round Rocks loves junk more than all other gobbies. Was collecting them and is playing now. Look! Shiny junk and sparkly rocks, biddy bobs and whirlycogs. Sid says, I'm sorry for interrupting, Round Rocks, but I need to ask you a question. When the ground shook 3 years ago, did something come bobbing up to the river's surface? Bobbing? Nothing bobbed, silly Uplander. Ground made shivery shakes when Giant of Whirlycogs stood, and then magic walls came up too. So nothing bobbed up. The earth quaked, and that giant machine stood up, and then the magic walls came up as well. Sid says, so it wasn't the tremor that freed the Colossus. It was the Colossus which caused the tremor. And you're absolutely certain you saw it rise from the waters, young one? Yep. 7 hells. I think someone tried and failed to summon it 3 years ago. But was it the Illuminati or... Oh, here's Brayflox. I'm hoping he doesn't have any stinky cheese in there. Shuck. Brayflox comes to trade tongue flaps, Uplander. I'm here to talk with you. Ah, just the goblin, says Sid. Slowfix tells me you're his resident expert on the Illuminati. Pardon me a moment while I consult with my fellow Uplander. Gav, if I may make a suggestion, I'll speak with Brayflox and learn what I can of our opponents. In the meantime, could you investigate the Colossus itself? Biggs and Wedge are near where it's... Oh, I see what it is. In the meantime, could you investigate the Colossus itself? Biggs and Wedge are near where its hand landed on the shore of the Thaliac. Join them. See if you can't find a way inside the machine. Oh, and good luck with that barrier. Bacrix says, Bacrix makes record of Uplander's flip flaps. Sid says, go to Biggs near River Shore. I recorded what you guys said. Round rocks. Psh. Here is treasure trove of round rocks, but shh, is secret from big gobbies. Red bricks. Psh. Giant of metal is holding fast to land, and Slowfix is telling Red bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Okay. I have to watch the hand that's on land here. Wedge says. Dee-da-dee-da-dee-dee, dee-da-dee-dee-da. What in the blazes? Gav, come to see the Colossus, eh? The chief has us looking for a way in. Of course, there's a bleeding barrier around the thing. Aye, another one. Luckily for us, when the big feller came down, its hand clamped onto the shore here, punching a hole in its defenses, and leaving that round portal there unprotected. Only trouble is, it's locked and doesn't seem to have a key. For want of a better idea, Wedge is listening in to Illuminati Link Pearl communications in hopes they'll mention the trick to opening it. Dee-da-dee-da-dee-dee. There's only one signal coming from inside the giant, and it's always the same pattern. I'm certain it's code. The Illuminati always use coded messages. From what I hear, they've developed a special kind of crystal Can't talk right now. I'm certain it's code. The Illuminati always use coded messages. From what I hear, they've developed a special kind of crystal specifically for transmuting link pearl waveforms. If we could get our hands on one, the chief's decoding machine here should theoretically be able to use it to untangle the meaning. Quite where we'd find such a crystal is another matter. Redbrick says, shh. Does Uplander know Round Rocks? She makes great collection of junk and things. Maybe is keeping Crystal at shortstop. Wouldn't that be a stroke of luck? And it just so happens I've been working on a means of identifying the crystal in question. Here, Gav, take this 3G7001B. Whatever the hell that is. Sprinkle that powder over this so-called collection and look for anything that glimmers. It should contain the material we need. You may have to borrow one of Round Rock's treasures, but I'm sure she won't mind if you tell her it's for a good cause. I'm afraid to know what this is. "3G7001B, a hodgepodge mixture of seemingly random items from Wedge's workspace. The engineer claims it can be used to detect the presence of certain crystals within solid matter. He has also asked that you do not ask him again about why it is called 3G7001B. If you don't find anything, we could always try blowing the hatch open. That armor looks pretty thick, though. Okay. Let's go back up there. Really? I'm not in range. I'm standing right here. Amongst the jumble of bits and bobs, you spy a faintly glimmering stone. Glowstone. Shut. What is Uplander doing? Sneaky taker! Treasure belongs to Round Rocks! Uplander needs it? For Giant of Whirlycogs? But glowstone is most favoritist treasure of Round Rocks. Alright, but Uplander must promise to bring it back, or Round Rocks is getting very angry. Yep, we promised to bring it back. Be careful with glowstone of Round Rocks. I'm going to fly just a little farther south here to unlock, Really? There we go. Got a part to the south and a part to the north, it looks like. Oh, Gev, no burns, I see. No reason. Tell me, did the 3G7001B reveal anything? Glowstone. I'm unsure of its origin. Round Rocks has given this light-emitting rock a compound name, a linguistic convention common in the Goblin tongue. Thank you! And you have my word that I'll give this back to Round Rocks when I've finished with it. Now, let's take a listen to what the Illuminati are really saying. Goodness! All that infernal beeping is gone. Now it's a message, clear as day. Let's see. Today is scheduled for Gordius. Registration at 7th bell. Stop. Louse the Curl Cubs at 3rd bell. Stop. Rest and recuperation at 2nd bell. Repeat. Today's scheduled for Gordius. Registration at 7th bell. Louse the Curl Cubs at 3rd bell. Rest at 2nd bell. Okay. Curl lousing? But I'm sure that was the only message. This has to be some sort of jest. Don't be daft, Wedge. It's just another code. You need the proper crystal and the proper knowledge to understand it. Ugh. Bleeding Illuminati. Should have known it wouldn't be so easy. Quite the conundrum you have there. But it's your lucky day. I'll crack the code, assuming we can come to a little arrangement. This is Mead. I'm a treasure hunter by trade, and there's a certain something I want inside the giant. I help you get inside, you help me get out with it. A fair deal, no? The name's Mead, by the way. I don't know if it's Mead or Mide. I'll have to look that up and find out. Charmed, I'm sure. You are aware that the interior is almost certainly swarming with Illuminati, yes? He says, why do you think I came to you? There's strength in numbers, friend. Best we join forces, eh? Now, the words you intercepted are largely gibberish, but paired with the numbers, well, you see, 7 stop 3 stop 2, wasn't it? You, the big one. See the pipes atop the hatch? There ought to be a valve up there with a hand wheel. Imagine it's clock and try turning it right to 7, left to 3, and then back to 2. Aha! We did it! We did it! So, the Illuminati have been announcing the way to enter the Colossus all along. Strange. Well done for cracking the code, anyway. I had less success, sadly. I'm afraid Brayflox knows little more than we do about the Illuminati's plan or the Primal. Come, things aren't as bad as all that. We've found a way inside the machine. We'll just have to learn about it as we go. It's only a massive mammoth, after all. Stopping it should be as simple as destroying its core. If we send in a suitably intrepid team of surveyors, I don't see why we can't trace the machine's power back to the source via the struts and piping. And I know just the man to lead the party. What say you, Gav? You can count on me. And what of me, pray tell? I opened the way for this grand expedition of yours. Surely that's earned me a place in your little band to hunt for my treasure. Sid says, you did as you promised, and you may do as you will now, but only so long as your treasure hunt doesn't endanger the mission. I'd join you if I could, but there's something I need to see to first. I'll leave Biggs and Wedge here in case of emergencies. Good luck, my friend. Fist of the Father, now accessible. You now have access to the Fist of the Father. Gordius can be accessed via the entrance in the Maker's Quarter. Sweet says, you needn't worry unduly about me. Once I have what I'm searching for, I'll leave. Simple as that. Which says, I keep checking Illuminati communications. If there's any change, you'll be the first to know. Biggs says, if there's anything we can do to help, you need but ask. Let's circle down to Great Google Library. Unlock that. Gives us more options. I'm going to talk to Master Matoya here, and then if we get to the Sea of Clouds, I may unlock that just so I can have a little more variety in my alliance raids, besides endless Crystal Tower series stuff. Oh, this is kind of cool. Look at the moon up there. It's a nice view. Midnight Dew. Ah, there you are. Good to see a man who doesn't shy away from a challenge. You'll see a sturdy-looking door just ahead and to your left. That'd be the entrance to the Forbidden Vaults. This is as far as I can take you. It's in my contract, you see. Anyhow, my client and I are both counting on you to retrieve that tome. Watch your back in there and try to keep it down. It is a library, after all. Oh, let's battle quietly. I was in a Renaissance reenactment group for years, and they battle with they don't use real steel, of course, because that can be pretty dangerous, unless it's choreographed, and even then it can still be kind of dangerous. No sport is ever you know, risk-free. But those, you know, the combat is loud. It's not quiet at all. There's no hiding it. All right. See what Alfino has to say. She was less than flattering about my technique when last we met, but this time I have come prepared. Let her belittle my obsidian carbuncle if she dares. Do not tell her I said that. Y'shtola says, the crystal eye is one of Master Matoya's most cherished relics. I doubt very much that she will grant us leave to lay hands upon it unless we can convince her that it is vital to our cause. Kryle says, you did say we were headed for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? See if they have anything new. You know how she can be. If Kryle does not meet with her approval, then that will be that. Alfino says, oh, who am I kidding? I will be fortunate if she does not mistake me for my sister again. Alright, in the eye of the beholder, the prospect of meeting the famous Master Matoya seems to have set Kryle thinking. I have heard many stories of Master Matoya, some quite flattering, others less so. Y'shtola says, rest assured, they all are true. This way, and have care where you tread.
Oh, is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Oh!
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryle, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Kryle, you too possess the Echo.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the signs of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
You don't want me, you want my stuff, alright.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance, but never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock. I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
I mean, we don't even have time to have tea with her, for goodness sake. Speak with Alfino outside Tailfeather. Sky Pirates, that's what I want to do. Antrama says, a supply airship has gone missing, you say? Well, that would certainly explain why our provisions are so late in arriving. I did, in fact, spy a vessel charting an erratic course northwards a short while ago, but as it seemed disinclined to make port here, I paid it little mind. Not the most compelling piece of evidence, I grant you, but I have witnessed naught else of interest. I suggest you investigate the landmass to the north. Rest assured, I will send word if I spy any other sign of our errant supply ship. Alright, I'm gonna pick up Never Reap here. That unlocks another dungeon. That Sonu Vanu's quest unlocks the Allied Society or Beast Tribe quest. Alright, Sanu Vanu would seek your aid in asserting the authority of the Zundu chieftain. The great Netherling warrior who chased the clouds from our land returns. Like gentle zephyr wind, Sanu has plea and hopes Netherling lends an ear. Zundu takes shelter from the Vundu storm by virtue of peace offerings and respect commanded by Zundu chief. Now, though, the rains threaten to fall again. The symbol of chief's power is the great mask he wears, a mask that grows old and worn. A chief who wears shabby mask is a chief who commands as much respect as a summer's day drizzle. Tribal mask is made from the scale of the Wakiyan. A giant Sanua who nests on Neverreap, where the Vanu are forbidden to go. The wicked Vundu seek to hoard power and influence for themselves. They seize control of Neverreap and forbid poor Zundu from entry. But they cannot keep out the great Netherling who tamed the white. Go to Neverreap, Netherling, and snatch the scale of the Wakian from the Vundu's evil clutches. Tonu Vanu will be your guide. He awaits you outside the village. Pray, go swiftly, Netherling, and chase away the coming storm. Oh, we gotta go way up there. Holy cow. Thank goodness I got flight unlocked here. Jeez, take forever to get here. Actually, to be able to even get to this place, you have to have flying unlocked. So, don't skip your ether currents, okay? If you do those along the way, you'll have flying unlocked as quickly as possible. Tunuvanu says, Tonuvanu waits for Netherling warrior, and Netherling warrior comes. Netherling braves Neverreap to retrieve the Wakian scale for Zundu. Tonu's heart flutters in the gentle winds of Netherling's kindness. Neverreap is sacred land to the Vanu, but Vundu come with their wicked ways and transform Neverreap into a tempest of terrors. Watch your tail feathers, Netherling. Ah, you can't jump off here. I think we might be unlocking some more trials with that one quest that I picked up. Ah, Sky Pirate. Ha! We'll make some good coin from this haul. Then we'll see if this fool's worth the ransom. Aid! Aid, I say! These villains mean to plunder my cargo. What have we got here, then? Think you're some sort of hero, do you? Well then, you won't mind if me mates here join the fun. Makes for a more heroical tale, won't it? A tale of how 3 sky pirates fed a meddling little shite his own bloody eyes. What the? Oh, gods, I know that ship. It's coming in for another strafing run. Or not. So you're the scrags would have been dragging our good name through the mud. You're red-billed Leofard. We ain't done naught to you or yours. What do you want with us? Little evil smile there. I think I made me position pretty clear. You take on the mantle of Sky Pirate, you agree to a certain code of conduct. Codes ain't much worth. Codes ain't much... Let me try that again. I think I made my position pretty clear. You take on the mantle of Sky Pirate, you agree to a certain code of conduct. And codes ain't worth much if folk go around breaking them. Frankly, lads, You're making us look bad, and we can't have that. No hard feelings, though, eh? Well... Helmsman says, "Oh, thank you, Mr. Leofard, thank you. I'm certain my master will wish to repay you. If your employer does business in Ishgard, he likely knows a merchant or two what trades with me associates. Tell him to say it's for Leofard, and any reward should reach me soon enough." As for you, adventurer, 'tain't often someone beats me to the scene, but then I'd expect not less from a hero such as yourself, Gav. That is who you are, ain't it? I don't know too many other folk with one of them marvelous mana cutters the Ironworks dreamed up. Well then, seems you've saved me the trouble of tracking you down. I'd been hoping to have a word with you, you see. I'll put it to you straight. I need someone to help out with a little venture I have in mind. Someone used to taking a few risks. Now, this wouldn't be no black-hearted brigand's work, so don't go worrying yourself on that account. Unlike them thieving curs just now, I don't hold with robbing honest folk. For me, you see, the Sky Pirate's life is all about freedom. The freedom to go where you will. To find out what lies beyond the next cloud. If you're interested in joining us on an adventure worthy of the name, then look for me standard in the northern reaches of the Blue Window. Someone will be waiting there to greet you. Let's go on up there. Because I do want to unlock that. Especially since I think I have Dune Skaith in my... Yeah, I have that in my Wondrous Tales, so I will get a sticker for doing it. Alright, here's Stasia. Alright, here's Stasia. That's far enough, stranger. If you value your life, tell me true. Did you stumble across this marker by chance? Or are you here by invitation? Am I here by invitation? Yes. And that would make you the hero the captain said to watch out for. Well met. The name is Stasia. Leofard would call me his right-hand woman, but I feel more like his bloody nursemaid, God's truth be told. Anyway, my thanks to you for coming to hear him out. If you'd follow me, I'll take you to the Red Bill's nest. I come to you in person and still you refuse my offer? Arrogant fool. Leofard says, on the subject of arrogance, Rodney. Leofard says, on the subject of arrogance, Rodnia, I bow to your superior knowledge. That's all the bowing you'll get from me. As I've told you a dozen times before, I ain't no one's lackey. Rodlia says, but my dear Leofard, how else do you propose to survive an expedition into the ghost ship? I would fear for my life with naught but your feeble crewmates at my back. Leofard says, well, I'd fear for me life with your mangy crew at my back on account of 'em being murderous, untrustworthy bastards to a man. The face she makes. Rodlia says, I thought you cleverer than this, Redbill, but no matter, I always get what I want in the end. 'Tis merely a question of method. Rodlia says, now there's a face I've not seen before. You don't have the look of one of Leofard's little birds. Stasia says, he's a guest. You understand the concept, don't you? You know, when someone is invited, instead of just bursting through the door whenever she damn well pleases. That was Radlia, captain of the Talons. She knows Leofard's the best sky pirate alive, and the fact he won't join her sticks in her craw. Talon's deck swab. Are you gonna let him talk to you like that, Captain? We should teach him Red Bills some respect. Radlia says, patience. When all of this is over, we shall see who rules the skies. Leofard says, ho there, hero! I promised you high adventure, and high adventure you shall have. For we plan to board the Sea of Cloud's very own ghost ship. Stasia says, or what folk have taken to calling one, anyway. Every day for the past few weeks has brought with it a new sighting of the selfsame vessel. A massive airship of queer design adrift on the wind. Being a curious lot, there were a few buccaneers who tried exploring below decks, but not one of them's been seen since. And so, naturally, they're saying the ship is cursed. Well, haunted. Leofard says, like I said, an honest-to-God's ghost ship. My guess is she's another relic left behind by the Allegans, and we won't know for sure till we've had ourselves a good poke around inside and liberated whatever ancient treasures she's got moldering away in her hold, of course. Stasia says, but before we start dividing up the spoils, we've got to find the damn thing, which is why we've been working on a special new device. Leofard says, bah, finding her will be the easy part. What we can't do without is a veteran and explorer who ain't afraid to fling himself face first into the jaws of danger. Now, I know you're a gallant champion of the people and all, but strip away the fame and the glory, and I'll wager you're still an adventurer at heart. So what say you, Gav? Fancy a plunge into the unknown at the side of the Red Bills? Of course. Stasia says, then it's settled. let's pay a visit to our crewmate, Utada. She's been working on a way to track the vessel. Red-billed deckhand says, might be as there are better engineers in the realm, but I'd wager none are as inventive as our Utada. She earns her keep with her brains, not her brawn, and we're a stronger crew for it. Stasia says, this here's Utada, the lass I was telling you about. She's our engineer, and a damn good one at that. Nefart says, I always get this little thrill in me chest when I'm about to embark on a new adventure. Once you've felt your heart dance like that, there's naught you wouldn't do to feel it again. Greetings. The name's Utada. I suppose you'd call me the Red Bill's Chief of Engineering. Smithing, carpentry, magitech. If it's part of an airship, I can fix it. Just don't expect to see me waving a cutlass and swinging over the rails. If there's fighting to be done, well, that's what we have you for. See if they have anything else to say. Alright. Utada seems eager to share her findings on the ghost ship. Well met, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, let's try this again. Utada says, well met, ladies and gentle pirates. Now that we appear to have our hero, I'm happy to report that we've overcome the last obstacle to boarding the ghost ship. Leofart says, meaning your project is proceeding as planned. That it is, Captain. I knew this would be the perfect place to take readings. The scant amounts of background ether make it easy to follow the derelict's trail. Stasia says, the ghost ship has what Utada tells us is a, quote, unique etheric signature, unquote. She's been building a device that can sniff out this particular spectral flavor and point us in the right direction. Utada says, I call it the ectocompass. It's allowed me to collect some solid data on the vessel's movements and plot a reliable intercept course. No groping blindly through the clouds for us. Stasia says, all the ships are loaded and ready to fly. Just say the word, Captain. Leofard, Utada, you'd best stay here out of harm's way. Keep an eye on them ether trails, eh? Utada says, aye, Captain, grab an armload of treasure for me. Leofard, now, we've got no way of knowing what's waiting for us on that cursed hulk, Gav, so you'd best bring along a few mates, which you know you can trust. Don't hurt to be too careful, seeing as how you'll be going in first and all. I did tell you you'd be going in first, didn't I? Well, you will. The rest of us will be guarding the rear, just in case Radley and her brood decide to stick their beaks in where they ain't wanted. Don't worry, she'll not get past us, so you can concentrate on carving a path into the ship's belly. An honest-to-goods ghost ship. Ho ho ho! This is going to be an adventure and a half. The Void Arc is now accessible. Oh, okay. Duneskaith is the other one. Does Utada have anything? Leofard will be taking my ectocompass with him. Just follow his lead, and you'll arrive at the derelict soon enough. Who knows what wondrous trinkets await you inside? Leofard says, we'll deal with any sneaky bastards what try creeping in behind us while you and your mates forge ahead. That hulk's secret will be ours alone. Red-billed deckhand. Captain's dragged us on some hair-raising adventures in his time, but Summit tells me this one's going to be the worst of the lot. If we look out for each other, though, I reckon we'll make it home in one piece, with a bit of luck. Stasia says, I'll be on hand to see that our curious captain don't get us all killed meddling with some ancient artifact or other, meaning you'll be free to concentrate on not getting killed by whatever's waiting below decks. Can't say fairer than that, eh? Alright, let's go to Tail Feather. Continue on our MSQ here. There they are. Right outside the door. Stola says, Thancred may be a capable warrior, but he was wounded when last I saw him. If any beasts were nearby when he emerged from the life stream, he would have been hard-pressed to repel them. Kryle says, We had forests like these on the Isle of Al. My grandfather and I used to go for walks together when I could prise him away from his work. It was the least I could do for him, considering everything he has done for me, taking me in when I was an orphan, raising me as his own, and giving me a name. You didn't think my parents named me Kryle Baldessian, did you? Alfino says, Were I to find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Y'shtola says, Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state, he may not have wanted to risk contact with strangers of unknown allegiance. Yet even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Kryle says, Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Alfino says, Fear not, Kryle. I have already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. Y'shtola says, This is impressive. You drew him from memory? A skill I acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. I propose we split into two pairs. Y'shtola and I will inquire at the outlying encampments, while Gav and Kryle question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Loth Ast Vath and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let us be about it. My, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Anyway, we had best get started. Find me when you've finished making your rounds. Can't, what are we standing around for? There's chocobos just begging to be hunted. Lupard. Searching for a friend of yours? Let's have a look then. Alfino's sketch. A surprisingly accurate depiction of the missing Thancred, suggesting that Alfino may have mistaken his life's calling. No, ain't seen him around, sorry. I don't think I have anything to mend. So I like to double check. Crosses. Pray excuse me, but have you seen this man before? Okay. Season tracker. Talk to the chief for the details of the hunt. Where's Shaw? What's that you got there? A sketch? Can't say I know the face. You say he's something of a warrior. I heard a tale the other day about a Hyuran vagabond who brought down a Bandersnatch by himself, and with style. The way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was the bell of the bleeding ball. Sound like your man? Oh, yeah. A Hyuran, man. We're not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? I did spy this one bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. This was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river to the west of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. The lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That, and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. Alright, speak with Cryle. I had a sudden itch on my elbow. It's a little chocobo hatchling running around here. Cute. Just kind of caught my eye there. Finished? In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found out. Cryle says, we were to meet here, were we not? Elfino says, my apologies for our late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could. Stola says, many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so receiving visitors. Elfino says, nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Hyuran hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chanced to see the man's face, his height and build match Thancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. So you have heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Cryle says, mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Vath trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for, quote, a man of refinement, which seemed a rather curious description for one of his kind. Stola says, you are implying that Thancred sent a Vath to market in his stead? Why would he not go himself? Elfino says, well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the life stream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never forget. Stola says, is it now? Well, I was pleased to see you. I mean, it was a simple statement of fact. It stands to reason that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. Cryle says, in any case, if he had dealings with the Vath, They should be able to tell us, no? Elfino says, quite right, Cryo, quite right. Honestly, that boy, some things never change. Given that Elfino seems to recall the details of my return so vividly, I would rather he did not draw me from memory, talented or not. Elfino would very much like to continue the search for Thancred. Well, what are we waiting for? For all we know, Thancred could be waiting for us in Loth Est Fath. We must go and see the Vath right away. Come along, everyone, come along. Vast storyteller. Vast storyteller. Click, click. Great hunters, we welcome you once more to Loth Est Fath. What do you seek this day? Elfino says, we seek a man with whom we are told you may have had certain dealings. How curious! The hunters tire of godly sport and pursue mortal prey? No, he is not prey, but a friend long missing. Click, click. Good. He is a friend to the Vath as well, one with whom we have traded many times. Truly, and you are quite certain it was this man? There is no doubt, click, click. The fleshling clothed in skins came to us from Sam Al. Lost and weak, he offered meat and hides in trade, and in exchange, we tended his wounds. He brought us much flesh, so skilled a hunter he was, much flesh. When he asked for garments, we were glad to provide them. And where is he now? Click, click. Gone to Loth Est Nath, not long ago, when he heard the One Mind had summoned our god once more. Stola says, Ravana is returned. Elfino said, Vidofnir did say that the Nath had grown as before, but what could Thancred hope to accomplish by himself? Honored Elder, we thank you for your help. Would that we could repay this kindness ere we depart, but we must hasten to our comrade's side. Oh, great hunters, lest the Nath claim him as a sacrifice, click, click. Proceed to Loth Est Nath, defeating any foes who stand in your way. Oh, we gotta rescue Thancred, man. I missed him this entire expansion. Summon my chocobo. Eat some food, my food buff ran out. Uh-oh.
Who else could be? Thancred. It could be Thancred. We must hurry.
Oh. They're both having echo memories.
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever!
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not! So you are the warrior of light, the savior of Eorzea. It's a wonder you didn't come sooner, what with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Have care. The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them?
Thancred.
Not very sporting of you to interrupt. But so be it. Mark well our faces, warrior of light. For we are the warriors of darkness. Walkers of a different path. And we shall meet again.
Ooh.
Warriors of Darkness? Really?
He's back! He's back!
Tancred, are you all right?
He's got some nice moves there, man.
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
Oh, let's see what everybody has to say. Krau says, the vision caught me unawares and I was unprepared for their attack, but I could hear the colony chattering all around us. They were so loud. So unbearably loud. Avino says, do you need to sit down? I have water if it will help. Stola says, we should be safe here. Our pursuers are not like to stray so far from the colony. Thancred's back.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our parting? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Tancred.
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the life stream in the altogether.
So she's gotta have the nutkin there. Nice.
Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides. Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke?
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement. From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more?
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed Warriors of Darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the Warrior of Light, I suppose.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black. An Ascian, I think.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
Thancred says, I know what you're thinking, but really, you needn't worry. It will only lend credence to my tales of heroism. Besides, battle scars are to maidens what loose morals are to gentlemen. A definite bonus. Nice, Thancred, nice. Y'shtola says, "'Twould seem the mystery of the axe-wielding hire has been laid to rest. I should have known better than to think Thancred would ever stoop to using such an inelegant weapon, but then how was I to know that there was not one vagabond wandering the Chocobo Forest, but two?" Prowl says, "He knew us. He knew you. Did he walk in your... Let me try that again. He knew us. He knew you. Did he walk in our memories as we walked in his?" Yeah, pretty much. Dreams of the lost. Alphino is lost in thought, doubtless ruminating on the implications of your encounter with the Warriors of Darkness. Alphino says, "Blessed with the power of the echo and driven to put down primals. Despite his declaration that they walk a different path, I struggle to see how their goals conflict with ours. Nor is that the only oddity. I find it passing strange that such exceptional individuals should have wholly escaped our notice until now. Surely we would have heard rumors and attempted to recruit them to our cause?" Y'shtola says, "I recall no such adventurers, and I would not soon forget their like, nor would any of us, I think. One of our primary duties was to scour the city-states for promising candidates, which is how Ida and Papalimo found Gav." Thancred says, "Ah, the memories. It seems like only yesterday that you slew your first primal. Speaking of which, I had the distinct impression that it was not the first time that band of merry men and women had killed a god." Y'shtola says, "I labor to believe that a band of preternaturally gifted adventurers has been traveling the land, slaying primals without our knowledge, which would imply gross negligence on our part." Alphino says, "Speculation will avail us not. There is far too much we do not know. For the present, we must needs concentrate on what we do know, namely that Lord Ravana is no more. Vidofnir must be informed. The news may render her more receptive to Sir Emmeric's invitation." Krell says, "Since you seem to have affairs here well in hand, I shall take my leave. Simply being in the vicinity of this colony is giving me a stinking headache. If you have need of me, I shall be with Master Matoya. I would beg her assistance with the search for Minfilia." Thancred says, "Wait, Minfilia is missing? I thought she escaped with Gav." Alphino says, "I shall explain on the road. Much has happened in your absence." All right, now let's speak with Vidofnir, since we're right here and they so nicely gave us a port. Vidofnir says, "I had not thought to see thee again so soon, mortal. If thou seekest the night, know that she hath long since departed for Ishgard." Alphino says, "My thanks, Vidofnir, but it was not for her that we came. We bring good tidings for you and yours. Lord Ravana, who had been summoned by the Nath, has again been brought low." Vidofnir says, "Truly? Once more you mortals have succeeded where mine own kind did fail. You have our deepest thanks. Elfino says, would that we could take credit. The god fell by another's hand. Another? Revelation upon revelation. Regardless, it is cause for celebration. The Nath will have no choice but to withdraw. But to another matter. I have tidings for thee as well. Elfino says, regarding the Ishgardian's invitation. The doctor says, as promised, I brought the matter to my sire. Hearken to his answer now. And quote, for 1,000 years have I mourned my beloved, who gave her life to forge a peace thy king betrayed. Such was my lot until a child of Ishgard came unto me. For want of warmth she wrapped herself in a dream. Yet the world will remember her deeds. For truth she fought, for justice she sinned, for redemption she sacrificed, and became as light. To follow one's heart, to have faith in one's convictions, be it for weal or be it for woe. Such is the folly and the glory of man, and of dragon. The Dofner says, he hath entrusted the choice to us, and we have made it. We will keep faith with you who walk in the light. Elfino says, then you accept Sir Emmerich's invitation. The Dofner says, let it be known that I, the Dofner, shall journey unto Ishgard on behalf of my people. Elfino says, we are honored to receive your answer and will convey your words to our allies without delay. Elfino says, it is happening, Esael. Would that you were here to see it.
Even as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend, honorable men plotted to deprive them of another. Honorable men, to whom Sir Emmerich was no hero, but a scheming patricide. Honorable men who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation with the tyrant's blood. Honorable men whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
On that note, we're going to call it for today here for the live stream. We'll have to wait to find out what happens to Sir Emmerich. Alright, let's do our cat joke. We have one right here. What did the aliens say to the cat? Take me to your litter. Litter. Alright, cats and kittens. I hope you have a great one. If you're enjoying this, all, like, subscribe, ring the bell for the notifications. You know what to do, when to do it. And we will hopefully see you next Wednesday for the live stream. And I'll keep putting out some videos. I have some coming up shortly. 2 of them, in fact. One with dubbing and one without. So that should be uploaded today. And we'll see you next time to find out what happens to Sir Emmerich, and welcome Thancred back to the Scions. So glad to see him again. He's a cutie. All right, cats, kittens, you have a great night. Mama Cat Gamer signing out.